Actually, I would like to begin with my company first, which is named as fonbulucu.com. We are a equity-based crowdfunding platform in Turkey, and we are the newest ecosystem for the entrepreneurs in Turkey for investment. As Fonbulucu, we are the leading crowdfunding platform and we are the market maker at present. Our market share is more than 95%, and we are substantially contributing to the development of the startup ecosystem. Apart us, there are 8 other platforms who get the license from the Capital Markets Association, and uh, they are also beginning the campaigns for the new startups. And our aim is not just to be a investment platform, but we would like to expand to the investment area on a much wider basis and to support the entrepreneurs in different needs. As in Turkey, Turkey is one of the 8 countries which have a legal regulation for the crowdfunding system. So the Capital Markets Board gives us the license. We make the investor verification through the e-government service for ID identification, and Takas Istanbul Bank, which is a subsidiary of the Borsa Istanbul, collects the funds till it is transferred to the company, and the Merkezi Kayıt Kurumu, which is the central registration office for the shares of the companies, either they are in the stocks market or in the crowdfunding platform. What we have done till date is first we set up our platform, we get the license, then we established an angel investor network, which is one of the biggest in Turkey at the moment. Then we activate the VC funds so that the individuals who cannot be able to make investment through the platform can invest to our funds, and from the funds we invest to the startups. What we see is the people who has a lot of money has don't enough time to check the startup companies, and they find it as the loss of fortune. So we help them with our VC funds so that they can invest to the fund, and we make the investment on behalf of them through the funds. During the operation, we come to see that the entrepreneurs sometimes do not have enough knowledge on how to go to the investment rounds. So we establish a company named DG, which gives the training to the startup companies to contact with the investors. And then McNamara is our 5th step. It gives the graphic design, advertising, and promotion services for the companies, either in the platform or having direct contact with the investors. And then very newly, we established a company named Prime. It is for helping the entrepreneur centers to establish more and more in different cities in Turkey. And we run that system with the co-office platform Collective House. The next steps we would like to do is we would like to establish an investment bank, because the startup companies which pass through our platform for funding will need more and more money once they become successful in their targets. And we would like to establish a debt-based crowdfunding platform. The regulation has just announced, but we found some items to be, how to say, re-studied. So we are in contact with the capital markets board for the corrections. We would like to establish a portfolio management company because the number of the VC funds we have established is now over 5, and we would like the system to be under our control. And we are very near to establish a secondary market platform because the investors in the first campaigns would like to sell and their shares and realize their profits. So our success with the numbers, I will give you some charts, and please take care that we just begin the operation just 22 months ago. Now we have almost 50,000 registered users, and about half of them is making investment continuously. The demand has exceeded $185 million, and all the applications are under strict study by our team and then our investment board. Till date, we managed to found over $20 million, and through our Fonbulucu VC fund, we collected over $1.3 million and invested to more than 48 startups at the moment. The investment amounts in terms of dollars might be small when you look from the international area, but within the Turkish local system, it is a significant amount, especially for the seed investment. So our contribution to the environment is growing very rapidly, and we invest a lot to support the system. Now we are over 30 people in the company, and we managed 58 successful campaigns, and we are trying our angel investor network to grow more, and we are giving training to our angel investors on how to do their investments correctly. When it comes to Turkey, Turkey is one of the emerging markets. We are a part of G20, and Turkey is, with the latest 2022 figures, we are the 21st big economy in the world. Our population is over 85 million, and we are an entrepreneur-friendly environment in Turkey. Turkish government has established some new regulations to support the entrepreneurship, and both in high schools and in universities, entrepreneurship is supported by the system. There are some kind of educations, campaigns, contests, and just to make the students aware of doing something on their own, usually not alone, by a team. And what happened in 2022, more than $1.5 billion were invested across 300 deals in seed, early, or later VC stage. An all-time record was broken with one of the Turkish unicorns named Getir, which is a grocery delivery operation and now has expanded to their operation over several countries in Europe. Excuse me. And in the fourth quarter of last year, $93 million were invested for 74 deals in different stages. The top three investments has amounted to over $1.1 billion. When we exclude the Getir deal, 54 of the investments consist of gaming and fintech. And we come to see that gaming is increasing because Turkish Ministry of Science and Industry is giving extra importance for the gaming industry, and there are different incentives for the gaming companies to enlarge their operations, and also it is highly supported with different ways from the governmental funds of the gaming projects. But it is not something like, oh, I have an idea to make a game, but it is developing more and more. Another part is the fintech, because several years ago, Turkish ministry has made a decision to make Istanbul, especially, as a finance center. So fintech startups is especially supported with governmental funds and or VCs also. In terms of the deal counts, fintechs, SaaS, gaming, AI, and marketplace were the hot topics of 2022. And one good thing is foreign investors has participated in approximately 1 out of every 5 transactions. Although we are having economic problems in Turkey with a very high inflation at the moment, still the foreign investors are coming and supporting the system, which is very, very important for us. And the startup companies which have made their targets, they can go outside of the country for international operations much easier with the foreign investors. Also, in last year, 116 investments had a company or CVC among the investors. And one other important thing is a new regulation has announced last year, and any company who is using any incentives from the government, either from their R&D center or from their investments, 2% of the incentive amount they get should be invested to a startup company or to a venture capital investment fund. So many companies who has R&D centers has established either their own venture capital investment funds, or they made investments to the already established funds, and this made investment amount capital ready, and so the venture capital investment funds investing into the startups in different stage of the deals has increased. And this year, this amount will go much more because the companies who couldn't understand the system last year, in order not to get any red flag from the government, will be more careful this year. And also, female founders is increasing. There are several projects operating to increase the number of the female founders in Turkey, and it gives the light. And when it comes to the entrepreneurship, Istanbul is ranked the 6th among the European cities last year, And still in Istanbul is one of the highest number of game deals in Europe after London. And we are number 5th globally. When we come to some charts, what is happening, we can see that year by year, the 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 deals is both numbers and in amounts, it is increasing. So it is becoming easier for any startup company to catch investment in Turkey. Uh, what happens with the activities? Uh, every year, although there had been pandemic era, we have more and more deals coming out, and more money is coming for investment in Turkey. Most of the deals is for the gaming industry and also fintech industry. You can see now this Getir becomes a Turkish unicorn. Insider is a Turkish unicorn. So we are having more and more interest from the foreign investors also. As I told you, the gaming industry is growing and growing, and we hope we will have much good startups in near future. And the peak games, the dream games are two important examples from Turkey. Foreign investors participation now, we are at the election in Turkey. In 14th of May, we will have a presidential and the General Assembly elections in Turkey. So it makes the foreign investors to be on standby. But anyhow, the foreign investors' contribution to the Turkish startup system is still increasing. Also, the venture capital and corporate venture capital participation to the startups is increasing because our industrials also come to see that for something new to earn money, they need to work with the startups. Before, most of the companies were making their own R&D. Now, the Turkish companies are learning to work with the startup companies. And now, many big holding companies come to announcements for their specific R&D needs, and they accept projects from the new startups or to make solutions together with the new startups by giving them the guarantee either to buy their solution and use it or to uh, to make the acquisition of the new startup to their companies. And lately, for example, from a fintech looking, one of the big banks in Turkey is trying to uh, increase the entrepreneurship within the company. And for any startup solution comes out, they give the employees 2 years of time. If they can be successful in their startup company, they continue. But if they couldn't manage, then the bank give them the guarantee to come back to their position back. This was the chart for the venture capital investment funds, which I told before. The money expected to be collected according to our investigations are more or less about $80 million. It is an important money for seed investments for Turkey. On global basis, our figures might be small, but it is increasing. So this year, more or less, $100 million needs to be invested to the startup companies in Turkey according to the regulation, and it will support the system more and more. And either the companies can give that money to the government or make the investment and get benefit of the solutions if they succeed. So what is the most preferred verticals by entrepreneurs in Turkey? Now the gaming industry is growing more and more, and fintech is growing more and more. AI solutions is now under big attention. Sustainability, now because Turkey has signed the global regulations, and we are the companies need to find some solutions for their sustainability in order to, especially not only from the environmental way of looking, but to maintain their exports, continue to Europe and US. Energy is a big problem in Turkey, so energy related startups are ongoing. So basically, what I would like to tell about the Turkish ecosystem is the local Turkish citizens as to interest in entrepreneurship. The money is raising, good ideas can find money, and the government is forcing the companies to make investments to the startups. Plus, the government funds are also supporting the system. And for the startups, crowdfunding is a new solution for them to find the investments, and fonbulucu.com is here to help them. And the VC ecosystem is increasing, both from the local and also from the foreign investor sides. And I hope I can be able to make an idea about Turkey and the Turkish system. And thank you very much. I hope we will be welcoming you in Turkey either as a founder or an investor.